Advay was growing very typically. He reached all his milestones on time, some even before time. He was walking when he was 11 months old, I remember, before his birthday. The head of the daycare of his school was a psychologist. She comes to me, you know what, maybe you want to consult a neurologist for your son. When I enter a room, he doesn't look up to me. I call out his name, every other child responds, this one doesn't. And I'm like, are you joking? You don't take a child to a neurologist just for that. You know, it's just one of those things. He's going into a Shelley's choir, it's a new place, he'll probably come back again.
I deliver Gayatri and I'm still in the delivery room. And I hear the pediatrician and the neonatologist who delivered my baby whispering to each other, "Ye to DS lagti hai. This is a rag doll." And right there and then, even between my tears of exhaustion, I just remember thinking, oh my God, that means physiotherapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy for the rest of my life. This couldn't be happening to me. This is not me. They're mistaken. And right from that first point started my journey in denial. And I denied it, and we denied it together. And we were not willing to get the chromosomal tests done.
I hadn't heard the A of autism then. And that's when it actually struck me. So we went to a local doctor and he says, and we told him he's not responding to his name and there's no eye contact as such. And this doctor says, signs to autism ke hain, but I wouldn't know, so go to a specialist.
Sachin was born a beautiful, healthy, normal baby.
So Sachin was 3 years old actually when he was diagnosed with the autistic spectrum, and which initially was a lot of confusion for us because in India at that point of time, which is almost 15 years ago, Sachin is 15 now, there were a lot of opinions which we were carrying from various doctors, and the proper diagnosis took us almost 6 months.
We were searching and I realized that most of the community of therapists here in Delhi were average, mediocre people who had some idea, zero commitment, and an ability to try and transplant their knowledge of, let's say, cerebral palsy and the muscle tone there onto Down's children or vice versa.
Only 5% of the children get diagnosed before the age of 3 in case of
the gold
autism.
standard for official diagnosis is post the age of 3. So they wouldn't diagnose your child before that officially. But obviously the doctors know when there's something.
So as soon as we found out that this autism, so we went on the net and the first thing we read was, early intervention. That's the key word we heard. So we said there's no point denying.
But very early on I realized that I needed to arm myself with all the knowledge and information that existed on Down syndrome. And I needed to be the expert. I may not know practically how to implement all the ideas, but I needed to be the one who could guide my therapists and challenge them on everything they wanted to do with my child, because at the end of the day, Gayatri was going to be my baby, and I needed to ensure that that baby was able to reach her potential to the maximum extent possible.
There was also no family counseling for us, and we were just left in a hopeless maze to find a way out for ourselves.
Somehow with Gayatri's coming into our life have come in a huge number of other wonderful people. From the first instant when a complete stranger called us up from the other end of the country, from Chennai in fact, and said, I've heard that you've had a child with Down syndrome and I'm a mother too and I want to help. And she used all her own personal resources to come to Delhi, to handhold us, just help us cry the first time, and then sent her team of therapists over, again entirely at her expense, who flew into Delhi, who lived independently, who would come and spend the whole day for 1 full week with us every day and trained us on what needed to be done.
The families probably took some time to come to terms with it, which is natural. But post that, we had a lot of strength from the families, like physical stuff and emotional support. I don't remember a day when we were sitting there thinking, why us? Why did this happen? Because I was told he's young, you can work on it, you can make it go away. Well,
we didn't believe that as much.
yeah.
I mean,
But so then I knew if I worked, I could do it. If I spent 2 days crying or being sad, my son is losing out on those days. So I don't see. There are parents, you know, who say, "Oh my God, that was a bad phase of my life, and it's over. So there's no looking back." Oh, that sounds very tempting, but you know, it doesn't happen that way. Autism is a lifelong journey, and we're ready for it. We're ready for it, right?